I'm Duncan Ferguson and you're watching Toffee TV.
Hello, welcome to Toffee TV. It is me, Ped. I am sadly on my own for this match preview against Bournemouth. I think Baz has just chucked it in. Personally, I think he's just chucked it out after this week. I think we all thought, well, I think a lot of people thought something was going to happen this week. It hasn't happened. Roberto Martinez took his pre-match press conference today and basically just said he still thought he was the right man for the job. He also said, judge him on his 3 years and not on his last 3 months. Roberto, I am not 100% sure that makes for much better reading. If you look at everything in the last couple of years, the stats are down. The major one at the moment is the amount of games and points and goals we've lost in the last 15 minutes of games. That has gone from the roof. That has gone from being one of the best teams in the Premier League in your first year, I think maybe the best team for winning games in the last 15 minutes, to I think second to bottom now, which tells me and a lot of people that this team either doesn't know how to defend, isn't very organised, or isn't very fit. I'm actually going to say all three of them by witnessing the football this season. He does think he's the right man for the job. I'm not sure how many more of us believe that, but you know what, we'll come back to that because we are playing Bournemouth on Saturday. It is a bit of a nothing game. We've got 4 Premier League games left, 2 at home and 2 away. Obviously the 2 away games are actually quite important for the other teams, so that'll be interesting. And actually the Norwich game's quite important for Norwich, so this game is is sort of the only one that is basically a dead rubber for both teams. Bournemouth have lost 4 of the last 5 games, only beating Aston Villa. They went on a little bit of a decent run before that and basically got themselves in the Premier League for another year. Since then it has been flip-flops, it has been beachwear attire. They've been beaten by Chelsea 4-1, they've been beaten by Tottenham 3-0, they've been beaten by Liverpool 2-1, quite a young Liverpool's team as well. Manchester City beat them 4-0 as well, and they've basically just chucked in the towel, and that's fair enough. They're in the Premier League for another year, but Saturday is going to be quite interesting, just to see what team we put out and whether he does put some kids in the side. I mean, Dahl this week, hat-trick in the reserves, or the under-21, sorry, and a fantastic hat-trick as well. All left foot, this kid could probably play on the left, could probably play on the right. That left-hand side, we've always said that it's not a secure position. Tom Cleverley's done well in some games there, but no one's ever really made them their own. If he played on the right, he could possibly cut in on his left. That might help him more. But I'd like to see this game be used to get some young kids in the team, because look at the team already. We know there's no Funes Mori. We know there's no Phil Jagielka. We know there's no Seamus Coleman. There's an opportunity to play Pennington, straight away. You don't know whether Connolly will be involved, Davies will be involved again. There's gaps all over the pitch, and that's going to force other players to move around. Mo Besic, is he going to play at centre back? Is he going to play in centre midfield? There's an opportunity in this game to really give kids a go, because it means nothing to both sides on the pitch. And I think from Roberto Martinez's point of view, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just take the attention away from himself, because we all know he loves doing that. It wouldn't be a bad idea by giving those fans who turn up something to be excited about, because I'm not sure what it's going to be like on Saturday. There's a lot of talk of people not turning up, and then there's a lot of talk of protests. Listen, I mean, there's a lot of ideas floated, and I don't really see a problem with any of them, because there's nothing in this game. The tennis ball one made me laugh, because the idea of everyone being in search for tennis balls is hilarious. But if you want to protest on Saturday, I think make your voice be heard, because that's the most important thing. We've had games in the last few weeks where People have been going on the internet and Twitter and Facebook commenting, and when it gets to the game, it's really quiet. There's no sort of vocal presence. And I know a lot of people say, well, don't protest while a game's on. Listen, this game means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. You know, if you want to make your voices heard, make them heard on Saturday. If you want people to believe that the majority want the manager changed, make your voices heard, and that's the most important thing. You know, I've done a bit of radio today with Mike Parry, who's a bit of a Bill Kerr right apologist, and he believes that it's the minority who want change at Everton Football Club. From what I can see, it's a majority, but I mean, obviously I'm not tapped into every single person, so I don't know. But if you want to make your voices heard, I think that's the most important thing. Just, the club can stop you from taking banners in or whatever, but they can't take your voice off you, and that's the most important thing. And Saturday's a really good chance. There's far too much apathy creeping into this football club. Apathy has been creeping into this football club for 20 years. Far too many people just you hear people say it's not the Everton way. What's the Everton way? I mean, what is the Everton way? Because the Everton way for me now is not winning any trophies. That's the Everton way. Being laughed at by fans of other clubs, that's becoming the Everton way. Fans patting us on the head and telling us we're not big enough to go and get this player or that manager or whatever. That's the Everton way now. That's not the Everton way to me. The Everton way is success, it's winning things, it's sticking out your chest and saying, we're Everton Football Club. So that's something the fans need to, I think, take into consideration for Saturday. But as I say, I think the young players would be a brilliant distraction, if you want to call it that. If you get a few a few young players in the side on Saturday, I think that might take the attention away from them. Why not anyway? Because there's loads of injuries. There's you've got older players who are out of contract now and really shouldn't be given. The likes of Leon Oswin, the likes of Tony Hibbert, the likes of Stephen Pienaar. These fellas, Darren Gibson. Even though Darren Gibson, I still love Darren Gibson. I still think he's great. I still think he's a boss footballer. I think these people should be moved on now, and we should start. Because when you look at the bench and when you see these players, then why not? Do you know possibly could play on Saturday? And this is crazy. Remember that third highest, most expensive player we bought that time? I think his name's Nias. How about playing him? How about giving him a game? How about just getting him on the pitch and let's see how he goes? If he's not very good, he's not very good. But I don't think he's going to get any better if he's not playing football. So why not get him on the pitch and give him a go? Him and a couple of the younger lads. It's Bournemouth at home in a meaningless Premier League game. I'm quite confident we'll win the game anyway. I think they've gone. I think they've put, as I say, I think they're on the beach. They're not that bothered. So let's mix a few things up for this game. We're being bombarded by text messages and emails and stuff saying we knew. Let's give fans something to be positive about, because all it is at the moment is negativity, and that's coming from a manager who's just clueless, and a club that, although it was bought, a couple of months ago, feels not rudderless is probably the wrong word, but it feels like it doesn't matter about the season and we'll get it done at the end of the season. That's not enough for some fans, because I think there's that tension that if it doesn't happen now, it won't happen. And honest to God, how bad does it have to get? The man came out and said, there was a defining week. The derby, one of the most humiliating derbies I've ever seen in my life. And, the FA Cup semi-final, which, yes, the lads give it a go for 30 minutes. They rolled up their sleeves and they had a go. But ultimately, the first 45 minutes was just a continuation of the semi-final. And ultimately we got beat by a Man United team that I think going on the second half, we really should have beat them. So, for me, I think the change should have been made, and I also think Bill Kenwright should have gone as well by now. Now maybe the pair will go at the end of the season, but there's still there are still 4 games. That's four games. That's a lot of fume. And I'm over 4. I did have 5, and I'm over 4 now. That's a lot. That's a lot of fume. And when you're playing Norwich City, and when you're playing Leicester City, and when you're playing Sunderland, they're 3 massive games for the other team. That's 2 teams trying to stave off relegation, fighting for their lives, and that's 1 team in Leicester City that could potentially be lifting the Premier League trophy, against us, whether they win it at Old Trafford this week, or win it Monday night by Tottenham not beating Spurs or whatever. I fully expect them to be lifting the trophy against us next Saturday, which on its own is, it's not a slap in the face, don't get me wrong, it's not a slap in the face as in that should be us, but when you look at Leicester and you think to yourself, where were they this time last season, and where are they now? They're fighting, they've continued that fight, and they could be picking the Premier League trophy. Do you know what? It'll be the 3rd time I've seen a team pick up a Premier League trophy against us, which is just shite, isn't it? It's just shit. That's more times than I've seen us pick up a league title, which is sad. I've only ever seen us win. I've seen us win 5 trophies. Sorry. It's something needs to change, and as I say, if he wants to be positive, the positive thing to do Saturday would be to bring a few kids in and just change it up and just give us something to be excited about for next season. Because I just don't think people are excited, because I just think that people are thinking he'll be here next season, and that'll suit some people. That'll suit some people's narrative, but it doesn't suit mine, because all I want is the best for Everton Football Club, and I just don't think he's the best for Everton Football Club. As I say, I'll go back to what I said at the beginning. He said judge me. He said judge me on my 3 years. Well, do you know what? Your first year was fantastic, Roberto. I can't take that away from you. Your first year was fantastic, and it was a mix of old and new. But the last 2 seasons have been crap. And yes, the cup competitions have give us a little glimpse of something. Fair enough. Last year in Europe, some magnificent performances. I was lucky enough to go to Wolfsburg and watch us ride our luck, but at the same time, show a magnificent counter-attack performance against a really good team. And even when we played them at home, but then ultimately we failed. We went to Kiev and conceded 5 goals. This year we've got to 2 semi-finals, but ultimately we've been beaten. And it's all well and good being a good cup team, but you know what? Good league teams can be good cup teams, but I don't ever think a good cup team can be a good league team. And you need both. Let's be honest, you need both. If you want to keep players and attract players, you need to be both, because that's what you're judged on. No one's gonna go into negotiations next season as a player and go, well, you've got to the semi-final of both trophies. It's an amazing achievement. No one's going to say that. Can you remember who was in the semi-final of the League Cup and FA Cup last season? Because I can't. I can't even remember who. Yeah, Arsenal beat Villa in the final, fair enough. Villa beat Liverpool, fair enough. But I can't remember who Arsenal beat. But you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be so much more, and I don't see anything. And I'll go back to what I said before about playing Leicester City. They're going to win the league because they got work rate and they put decent counter-attacking football, whatever it is, on top of it, I believe, to win. And ultimately I just don't see our team working hard enough. This is not a rant, by the way, about Martinez. This is just someone, putting it all into context. I want us to go beat Bournemouth on Saturday. I want to see young players. I want to see a good mix. But ultimately, it can't erase what's happened in the last 10 days, in the last 3 months, and ultimately in the last 2 years for me. Because for me, we've been piss poor in the last 2 years, let's be honest. For me, I've said this before, the writing on the wall for me was when he brought back, when he couldn't see Tim Howard was finished, and then he brought him back against Chelsea when Joe Robles had 3 really good performances, and we went to Chelsea and we got beat 2-1 or 1-0, and we conceded that goal towards the end, and for me it was completely the goalie's fault. And that for me was the alarm bells, and it's gone on from there for me. So listen, what can we say about this game? There's not much on it. We just want to see the kids, want to see a bit of fight, and if the fans are there, make your voices known. Listen, tell the club what you want, tell them what you want, simple as that. Tell them what you want. You've got voices. Don't, let's not overstep the mark. Let's just make sure that people sing, and that's it. That's all you need to do. If you sing and you make them know your feelings known, that's all you can do as fans. That's all you can do. And if you feel even, if you're not going the game, then fair enough. Or if you're not renewing till he's gone, fair enough. I know there's people out there. No, I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. I've already renewed because 10 direct debits. They've got me over a barrel, haven't they? They've got me over a barrel with the R10 direct debits. So tell us what you think in the comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you properly think. All the people who've been trolling me on the comments, it doesn't really bother me, so why bother? Yeah, I am Ginger. There you go. I've got Spider-Man socks on today, just in case. There's a little bit of red in them. Don't worry. It's because they're Spider-Man. Tell us what you think in the comments. Tell us what you think on Twitter. It's Toffee TV1. Don't forget to subscribe. We are about 100 short of 9,000, which is just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you all, and thanks all for watching. Because honestly, the more people that watch, the more time we can devote. Honestly, and the more things we'll put out, and all the rest of those things. So all those things, don't forget, you can catch us on Twitter, you can catch us on Facebook, you can catch us on Snapchat. Just thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll get the 3 points, and hopefully Saturday will be whatever you want to make it. See you later.